All right, so what is this? So daily transmission. So this is actually the same day. I'm kind of cheating, but my wife's Beetle needs an oil change. So we'll kind of run through that real quick. Get some lights. All right. So typically when I do oil changes on my Euro cars, I typically buy the filters in bulk. I'm kind of partial to man filters. I like them. But pretty much any filter is a good filter. So Man Hummel and Wix are the same company, so just be aware of that. That can kind of save you some money there, because the other thing that I've noticed, or the other pro tip that I have, is that the MicroGuard filters from O'Reilly's are actually manufactured by Man Hummel. But I typically buy these in bulk from ECS, so at any time I can just change the oil. That kind of makes things a little bit simpler. All right, we just need to make sure I have enough oil to actually do an oil change. So this Beetle, am I actually recording sound? All right, so we are recording sound. Now, in terms of oil, I typically use, that's a nasty bottle. So in terms of oil, I typically use good old Rotella T6. And then I always add Liqui Moly MO. Ooh, I can never say the name of this. And then I always add in Liqui Moly MOS2 or MOS2. It's an anti-friction lubricant. I know there's all types of debate about does anti-friction or oil additives, do they work or not. I've always had good luck with it, and I've not had a reason to not run it. So I always add it in every oil change. Typically the way I do it is from Amazon or from Sam's Club, because I actually found out they sell a case of these at Sam's Club for the same price. I will just get a box from Sam's Club, and then it comes with 3 1-gallon bottles of Rotella T6. Now you're probably wondering, why do I need that much oil? It's because of those frickin' S4s. The S4 takes 11 quarts of oil per oil change, so you will use this whole box to change the oil on the S4. Now, the Beetle only uses like 4 to 5 quarts, so we're going to need a little bit more than this, but we have enough in that bottle over there that I said is kind of crusty. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So we can get to the oil change part. All right, so I'm still trying to find a place for you guys to sit. So everybody kind of has a story of like ECS tuning kind of screwing them over. ECS tuning has issues. You're going to see in a second, I have a metal oil filter cap. I feel like for all of my European cars that have the plastic cap, I always replace it. People say it's unnecessary, but with that engine over there, that M60 that came out of the E34, I've had the cap explode, and like that only happens once, and you never want that to happen again. So I always replace it with a metal one on all of my Euro cars. ECS said that the, here, let's get over here. So ECS says that the head, or the bolt head that's on top of the oil filter cap, is a 36. Read it, 36. We're gonna see if that works. All right, so backed up to give myself a little bit more room. Oh, I can replay that, but it's fine. So you got to remove the engine cover to get to the oil filter cap. Just put that over there. All right, so remember ECS says it's a 36. Yeah, definitely not. Way to go, ECS. So, whatever. Okay, so my plan to get the oil out of the engine, I know a lot of people don't like this, but I use a oil extractor, and we'll take a look at it real quick. So this is the oil extractor I use. It's from Harbor Freight, so, and I know everybody's like, oh, cheap Chinese tools. Occasionally they have stuff in there that works really well. The modification I made to this one, it had kind of just like a barbed fitting here. And then I put an elbow with an adapter for my airline. And so basically all I have to do is just shove this tube down the dipstick, put air to it, and it sucks all the oil out. It's phenomenal. All right, so that's it. So I made a little bit more of a mess than I typically do. I'm just gonna chalk that up to being sick. But yeah, the Beetle is a fairly easy oil change, especially with the fluid extractor. Now you don't need to have an air compressor in your garage. I mean, I got mine from an estate sale, so I guess that's another pro tip. A lot of people wanna know how I got all these air tools. Just go to estate sales. I think I got that air compressor for like $50, and it's a 50-gallon air compressor. So that would be wrong. It's a 27-gallon air compressor. Now you don't necessarily need air to be able to change your oil using the dipstick, because you can actually get a manual oil extractor or fluid extractor. This one's from Schwaben, and it came from ECS Tuning. It's all right. I like my one from Amazon better, so I can throw that in the description, in the links and for the description, because that one not only had vacuum, but it also had push. So like theoretically what you could do is like fill this up with oil and then pump the oil back into the engine. I mean, it's a cool novelty. I've used it for like filling transmissions and stuff like that. It's kind of helpful for that. But yeah, like I said, it's fairly easy to knock out an oil change in this car. If you have a fluid extractor, rather if it's manual or air powered, the only thing you really need is to be able to get the oil filter cap off. And if you upgrade it to an ECS unit, this is what you need. This is a 1 1/4 inch wrench that I used for to remove the clutch fan on my M3. But this is exactly the size that the nut on top of the oil filter cap is. I need to get a socket so I can just use it on a ratchet. But yeah, and then on top of it, it says what to torque it to. It's like 19 foot-pounds or something. I mean, you just open it up, stick the tube down the dipstick, suck all the oil out, change your filter, and then do everything in reverse.
I did it.